Yes, people. Thanks for pressing play on this video again. I just thought I'd put out another quick video centered around some interesting information that I heard today, speaking to several youths in the local community where I reside in. I have to be careful about what I'm saying because I don't want it to be put across or be perceived in any intelligentsia type of a way of, well, why should we all listen to Ithamar, or everything that Ithamar says is correct. That's not the position that I hold. I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis, whether they're white, black, Asian, mixed or other, young or old. I think that it's important that when it comes to taking on board people's views and opinions, that they're viewed from a non-objectional stance. Speaking to some local youth today, and sorry, I'm interjecting myself again. Before I say what I'm going to say, I'd just like to say that I support everybody in the city of Birmingham, in England as a whole, but in particular the city of Birmingham, because that's where I live. All the activists, all the youth and community workers, all the criminologists, you know, all the imams, all the preachers, and the way they are sort of trying to galvanize the youth right now, and the stuff and a lot of events that are coming up in 2016 and hopefully beyond 2016 as well. I support everybody's work. But speaking to one of these youths today, and I'd like to also say that I'm honoured in this person, even this young person, even coming and feeling that he could come and speak to me. He said, Ithamar, listen, I know that you're a person, you know, you speak the truth, and if I ask you a question, I know you're going to be straight to the point about it, and you're going to tell me exactly what it is that's, you know, your take on things. And I said, fire away. And he's gone, Ithamar, recently I've been invited to a lot of youth conferences in Birmingham, in Manchester, in Nottingham, and in Leicester as well. And they're speaking some good information, some very good information, and it's very inspiring. But I hate to say, Ithamar, why is it that every time I leave one of these youth and community conferences, that everything that was said, everything that was dialogued, everything that was gurgitated didn't center around or was attributed to anything that's going on in my life right now? And I've gone, expand on that. Can you expand so I can give you my take on it? He's gone, well, yeah, sure I can. I don't know where I'm sleeping tonight. I've got a daughter that's 6 months old. I've got another daughter on the way. I just found out last week I got another daughter on the way. You know, I just caught a charge the other week. I'm looking at 5 to 10 years. I'm only 20 years old. You know, when I'm out in the streets, I'm seeing a constant microaggressions from women outside of my race when they're walking past me, clutching their belongings, or if I'm, you know, activating the central locking on their cars and stuff like that. A lot of stuff that he was saying I could actually relate to. And he was saying it doesn't center around anything that's going on in my life right now, Ithamar. And after five minutes of hearing a lot of these speakers speak, I switch off because it's not applicable to anything that's going on in my life right now. And I had to turn around and say to him, I said, that's a very, very, you know, a good take. And you haven't really asked me a question. You've just given me an overview on some of the stuff that you've been seeing at one or two events that you've been attending recently. And I think that I wish that I had said to him what I'm going to say now to this camera, because I really couldn't come up with an answer with it. What I would say to that youth there, and what I would say to a lot of activists and youth and community workers and a lot of criminologists and a lot of mental health workers and a lot of Christian preachers and a lot of imams out there, is that, in myself even, this applies to me, is that a lot of us need to sort of get our social train of thought and thinking in order. We need to stop neglecting the obvious. A lot of us need to stop being in denial about certain things. Seriously, because if a youth feels that he has nobody to talk to, and when he does go to an event that he feels that he can talk to somebody and somebody's going to give him some sort of remedy or direction for his problems, then you'll see a lot more youths engaging. But if a youth is being taught something and he cannot see the immediate necessity of what is being taught, he or she's being taught, he or she is going to simply switch off and say that the adults have nothing for me, and all they've got for me is information. I may as well go to church, or I may as well go to a Black history class. That is what I would say to that youth, and that is what I would say to me, and that is what I would say to a lot of the aforementioned a lot of the aforementioned community workers that I've mentioned as well, whether it be imams or Christian preachers or youth and community workers or criminologists or life skills facilitators, anybody that comes under that field or anybody that cares about youth empowerment, period, that is what I would say. And what I would also say as I wrap this video up is that, yes, the youth is the foundation. A lot of work is going to be centered around the youth because the youth are the foundation, the youth are the future. But at the same time, any racial revolution isn't solely centered around the youth. I think I should just add that in. It isn't solely centered around the youth. What is centered around the youth, as I said in a previous video, is, you know, black politicians, black politics. Are we going to be funding black politicians, black economics, and a real vision, drive and change for the future, a positive change for the future? Because at the end of the day, white, black, Asian, mixed, or whether young or old, a man is loyal to his stomach and he's loyal to his stomach first. And if he can't see the immediate necessities of what you're teaching him, that's centered around that, or is corroborated around that, or is going to help with that, he's going to instantly switch off. So thanks again for watching this video. Peace.